providing an apparatus for us to do this demonstration. As the engine gets on scene, the firefighters are going to prepare the hose as the captain gives them assignment, and then he's going to perform a walk around of the structure to see what else they got. Because because the part of the fire on the garage does not mean that it's progressed to other parts of the building. Everyone on the engine has their responsibilities. The explorers are demonstrating as the two firefighters in the truck. At the side of the engine, right in front of you with the red helmet, is the engineer for this demonstration. The engineer, his job is to make sure the firefighters on the end are able to get water in adequate timing to the end of their hose so they can put the fire out. The hose that they're running currently right now, fully pressurized, can put 150 gallons of water per minute out of the end of that hose. As part of the academy, we focus highly on physical fitness, and the reason why is there's something called nozzle reaction. Nozzle reaction is that 150 gallons of water that's coming out of the hose pushing back on you. So some of these explorers may only weigh 150 pounds. With gear, we're putting them about 190 pounds. They have to be in physically good condition to be able to push back on that hose, be able to adequately and safely put water through the end of the hose and put the fire out.
¿No echa el agua por acá?
So sometimes on the end of the hose you're by yourself, so preferably you have a partner with you. Right now we have two explorers. They're working in coordination together to move the hose. If one of them is not on the same page as the other one and moving in different directions, pushing or pulling the wrong way, the person in front is going to be working twice as hard and expending twice as much energy. So we're going to take just a brief moment. They're going to go ahead and break down this hose, get it out of the way, and we'll move the engine to the opposite side of the building, and shortly we'll begin scenario number 2. While we reset, if there's anyone in the crowd that has any questions regarding the academy, I can answer. Feel free to go ahead and ask at this time. Otherwise, you'll just start talking about other items. You have a question over there.
Do you reclaim the water that you're using? Is that what you're flowing into?
So yes, we reclaim the water. Escondido has a recirculating pump over all of our big water days during the academy, so that we're using the same water over and over again. That water's not being wasted. For our power here, we don't have a recirculating pump, but we do have a gigantic pit. So any water we use is going to slope downhill. It's going to hit one of these grates or drains, and right under, almost where I'm standing right here, is a probably 50,000 gallon pit where we collect all the water, and we have the ability to pull that water back up with any of our fire engines and reuse it at that point. Anything that overflows from there does flow downhill towards the ocean, although it stops. The city of Carlsbad has a reclaimed water portion where they collect anything that goes down the drains, anything from your sink at home, and they put it in a big pit there, clean it, and use it to water any of the plants. It's the purple. Okay, we have a lot of explorers going through this, so I'm going to try to do my best to name them off right now before they get here, because I won't be able to do it as easy as they're coming. Thank Escondido Fire for providing with us an equipped fire is located inside the kitchen. This is in the middle of the day. The people who reported the fire are the actual homeowners. They are home, so the door is unlocked. We have easy access. We don't have to figure out how to get into the house. The problem is that fire is moving really quickly. It started when they were cooking with some oil on the stove. They tried to put water on it. Anytime you put an oil fire, add water to it, it expands and gets much worse. Fire has now progressed not only from the kitchen, but also upstairs. You can see we got heavy smoke showing from a distance. Most likely the entire house is charged, top to bottom, with smoke. So our goal is to get in there, get fire knocked down as quickly as possible, and get as much of that smoke out. Pulling hose, our first group is Kyle Depew and Drake Sinikowitz. Our next hose is coming from Jaden Hazard and Trevor Rogers. The area of hose that they're pulling, this is 1 3/4 transverse pre-connects. All that means is that the hose itself is 1 3/4 inch wide, and it's loaded sideways on the hose. The good thing about these are they are already attached and pre-plumbed to the pump. So it's very quick, very efficient for us as firefighters to go ahead and pull those lines, get water to the end, very quickly make entry and get knocked down of the fire in a timely manner. So those individuals are getting ready to make entry with their SCBA and their hose to be able to get that knockdown of the fire. Any type of house fire you're going to see, we get a minimum of 5 engines and a truck and a battalion chief. The reason why is there is a lot of work to be done.
Let her come through. Let her come around.
Just past you right now is Explorer Trevor Magnet from Carlsbad, preparing to ladder the roof and check the roof for the potential need for ventilation. Basically, a breakdown of vertical ventilation is going to be cutting a hole with a chainsaw in the roof so that that hot smoke can use it to advantage and lift itself right out. What this does is it's going to go ahead and improve visibility in the structure for the firefighters that are doing the work in there. It's going to cool the structure down, and it's also going to help provide breathable air in case there's anyone stuck inside the structure that needs to be rescued. Big round of applause for Trevor Magnet. As more and more engines arrive on scene, more personnel will be available to provide other aspects needed in the fire.
They got someone. She must have been in the
Estamos para México.
So one of the other engines had shown up. Apparently I didn't see them. We have 4 individuals that are performing search and rescue. They went into the smoky environment and used senses other than sight. They used their sound, they used their hands and knees crawling around, attempting to try to find a possible victim that's stuck. These explorers that are a part of our search and rescue team include William Osterhout, Jacob Hessel, Riley Gillum, and Jordan Chavez. So again, going into a smoky environment like they just did, visibility is really low. So they're using their other senses. They're calling out, "Is there anyone in here? Firefighter from Carlsbad, is there anyone in here?" They're yelling and they're listening to hear if anyone calls back. One problem we run into in fires is children. Children get very scared. We sound like Darth Vader when we talk, and we look totally different than most of what they've ever seen. So what they end up doing is they're already scared. They'll find a place to hide. They'll go under the bed, they'll go in the closet. So part of our job working as full-time firefighters is to go ahead and go out to the community, go out to the schools, and take part in education programs. If we pull up on scene and we don't have a fire hydrant, we can still flow water consistently for about 3.5 minutes, roughly, with our small hose. Our bigger hose, our 2.5-inch hose, we're looking at about 1.5 to 2 minutes of water. Fortunately, city planning's done an excellent job putting hydrants in. Our engines carry 800 feet of hose so that we can use to hook to a fire hydrant. So there's not a single spot in the city that's near a road that we're going to be further than 800 feet away from a hydrant. We get into kind of some country areas, and that can be a little different of the story, but we have adequate to be able to make do.
¿Esa es la derecha? Walking to the left.
So the question was, had to do with the driving of the trucks. Can anyone do it, or are there certain certifications? There are certain certifications. So it's a Class C driver's license with a firefighter endorsement. And basically what that means is, as a firefighter, when I'm hired, I have a Class C license. I am not allowed to drive the truck at all. As I get my training through my department, I spend countless hours behind the wheel, backing up, alley dock, parallel parking, doing everything. Then I get my endorsement. So that means I can basically drive the truck around the city, going non-code, to not going to calls, basically, just driving from point A to point B. Every fire department has what's called an engineer. They're the person that drives the actual engine or trucks themselves. They have to go through extensive training, testing, and have to be selected by the fire chief to get that position. And at that point, they're the ones that are signed off and certified to be able to go code 3 to calls, and that's their position, and that's their only role and responsibility is they take care of that truck month, day in and day out. That's basically their baby's first work. Okay, so I'm gonna stay over here because I'm having mic problems when I walk too far. We also talked earlier inside about self-contained breathing apparatus. That's what you see right in front of these Explorers. These bottles hold 4,500 cubic feet of air. What does that mean? Not a whole lot to a lot of us, but they're rated for 30 minutes. You put that on and you breathe, that's 30 minutes of no physical activity, laying on the ground. You can last 30 minutes while breathing that. You start throwing in, factoring in work, that time is going to be depleted. So usually a good rule of thumb is about 15 to 20 minutes of actual work while wearing those SCBAs. You've seen all of the Explorers that have made entry taken part in it. They were wearing them, but we wanted to take this opportunity to really show you what our testing process in the Academy was. So we had 31 seconds, 2 winners, 31 seconds for self-contained breathing apparatus throwing it. So these Explorers, you can sit up real quick. I'm going to give you an introduction. So we have from Oceanside, Karina Martinez, give a wave. Also Oceanside, Sebastian Lin. Oceanside, Aaron Cox. North County Fire, Isaac Garcia. Carlsbad, Leah Covington. And Escondido, Preston Pekarski. So again, when we would do this testing process, we wouldn't exactly tell them when we're going to start. Typically, how this test works is a little different, is we time them from the moment they touch the BA to turn it on, their time starts. With so many here, we want to make sure that we start them all at the same time. So I'm going to be a little bit nicer than the last time, and I'm going to give them a 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, go.
3 blue threads. Fast activated. 4,000 psi.
So each process that they're doing right now is an individual point. Any process that they go through, for instance, not checking how much pressure is in their bottle, it's going to add a second to their overall time when they're done. Go ahead and break down and start cleaning up, and we'll just get ready for our final presentation here shortly. Again, if anyone has any questions about trucks, hose, in back. Daniel Howard. I'd also like to take a moment to thank the City of Carlsbad for providing this engine for this scenario.
Oh my God!
Once again,
Yeah.
smoke showing from a distance.
Oh, chilling. Thank you. I remember this face.
So with this fire, there's a lot going on. We're going to need a lot of water to put this out. So in front of you, you have Lila Killian from Oceanside, who's going to go ahead and make her connection to the fire hydrant. We have many ways we can do this. We can pull up next to the fire hydrant, drop her off, and drive forward and leave her there with the hose. Or, as the example she just did, was she did with all the station light, which means that the engine parks and then she's going to pull the hose to the hydrant. On ladders, we have Nolan Havens from North County and Lucas Solberg from Oceanside. They're going to go ahead and make access to the building, to the roof, check for ventilation, and there's also, they hear reports of somebody screaming as they're bringing their ladder over there, coming from the roof area. Pulling our transverse pre-connect, we have 4 explorers. We have Ryan Laverty from Escondido, Gabriel Palma from Oceanside, from North County, and Drew Hernandez from Oceanside. So Gabriel Durantes de la Vega and Daniel Howell did just force entry into the house. They use what's called irons, which is going to be your axe and your halogen bar. You can see them bringing them back to the engine. These are nicknamed as the keys to the city because we can get into pretty much any door in the city with this.
Santo, santo Dios, ¿qué es eso?
We have a few explorers inside performing forceful entry. We have Kelsey, search and rescue looking for any trapped victims. We have Kelsey Davis from Carlsbad, Josh Shackelford from North County, and Ricky Norman from Oceanside.
Ahí abajo. Ando el tanque, ¿cachai?
So again, this fire was in a locked structure at night. It took a long time for anyone to realize anything was going on. A neighbor woke up to the sound of a hydrant, a fire alarm going off, went to go investigate, smelled smoke, and went ahead and called 911. A good rule of thumb with a fire, every minute it's going to double in size. So with a fire like this going unknown for such a long duration of time, we have potential by the time we show up to have it really cooking and really going hot inside the structure. We're going to show up and we're going to make that determination. You can see the red helmet in front of the door. That's our captain off the engine. He's going to make the determination whether it's even safe for us to go in. Once he makes that determination, go or no go. If it's a go, we're going to go ahead and go in, perform a rescue if there is a rescue needed, and we're going to bring our hose in there and we're going to go ahead and put the fire out. There are times where fires come in so late, or depending on what's burning, fires will get out of control to the point where we don't have enough water that we can put on it to adequately get in there and keep us safe. We can't go in and fight the fire inside, we need to fight it from the outside.
Wow, padre, traes a alguien. Sacaste a alguien, padre. Este que viene aquí, ¿no? De espalda. O allá. ¿Qué que viene allá? Aquel.
So again, fires progress approximately double in size every minute. Occasionally it will get to the point where, like I said, we cannot fight the fire from the inside without it being too dangerous for us. So what you just heard
Salió
is the air
Adriel.
horn blast is an emergency evacuation signal. You're going to hear the air horn blast. You're going to have it called over the radio. That is our sign to get out of the structure as quickly as possible. Leave whatever hose is in there because it's too dangerous for us to be in there. We're transitioning from an offensive attack on the fire, meaning we're going to go in and put the fire out, to a defensive. This fire is way too big for us to fight from the inside. We have two explorers, Jonathan Yee from Carlsbad and Jacob Margo from Oceanside are going to perform a defensive setup of the exposure. This is a 2.5 inch hose with a nozzle on it that's going to put out 250 gallons of water per minute, which is double what our smaller ones will. And we're going to put as much water from outside the structure to the inside as possible, as quickly as possible. So this is of dire importance. Anytime we do a defensive attack, especially, we're moving a ton of water. So we need a lot of engines, and we need all of them connected to a hydrant. We need to get as much water into that hose as possible. Large fires. There was in Escondido about 10 years ago. There was an apartment complex, an entire complex that burned down.
It's coming.
Half of North County that was there.
Pues tiene que sentar.
And they had these set up all over around a whole block of apartment buildings, flowing water into it, trying to get it knocked down. These nozzles have the ability to go full straight stream. They can put up with water blending in front of them and get off with
Beautiful.
If we could get a big round of applause.
Woo!
We are going to go ahead and line up, get the explorers lined up here shortly for an Academy picture in front of a bunch of the trucks. It's going to take a few minutes for us to get everything ready to go. We will let you know as soon as we have them lined up for a gigantic group photo. And also, we wanted to leave the car fire prop hooked up. And when that's done, some of the explorers will have them lined up and have the fire picture of them in the fire's background. Great Kodak moments for all of you. Thank you for coming. While we get all transitioned and ready to go, I wanted to invite all of you just to the south side. You can see the tarps that are up. Those underneath have sheet cake and dessert and water, refreshments, and coffee. So please help yourself while we get prepped and ready for the next portion. Thank you.
Ese que va enrollando el hose. Parece, ¿no? Deja mirar la face. Le quebró el pie a Adriel allá, ¿no? Al mono. What? What's that? ¿Qué? Uno con hambre acá y tú, mira, comiendo. El Adriel. El padre.
Padre Santo.
I'm gonna take a picture of you with this video.
¿Este bonito de Dano?
Se lo va a quitar.
I see your butt. Up, you ripped your pants. Gigi. No te eches un pedo, por favor.
Cállate ese.